Good morning, everybody. It is Saturday over at the Miller Kart Fest, and made it in about like a 2-hour drive from the show, and it's inside of a sporting complex. The ground is like all like AstroTurf, and it was kind of rough getting the kart in, but oddly enough, the entranceway was over that side, so I didn't really have to walk far. I had to still get my badge regardless. The stuff that we picked up from that $4,000 lot, I had just gotten done last night before going to sleep, so I'll actually kind of show off that right quick, because it's the original footage that I had recorded was not like the best, so I had to like do a bit of re-recording, so you'll pretty much see that right now. So immediately off this right here, the lighting is so much better. Binder stuff, there was not as much as I originally intended, but there's a good amount of like really good fillers, some like fuller trainers, some stuff that I got from the Collector Palooza show that I was able to get priced off as well. And there's a couple of like Yukamoris. I can't even like put everything back. Yeah, we're just gonna leave the mess as it is, but yeah, there's like a good amount of even like vintage stuff from like Neo Discovery, Genesis, a bit of like Gym Challenge stuff. And then probably the biggest amount of pickups was everything in this pack or stack that I'm going to be putting out in this case a little bit later. But as you can see, there is a good amount of like really good variety stuff. Like even that was from the last show, and I was still able to get a lot of different unique stuff in, but you'll pretty much see it when the booth is organized. Even still, like, you know, Gyarados, Mewtwo's, there's like a couple of those that are in here. Probably some of the other ones like Rayquaza, Secret Full Art, Hexmaniac, which we usually don't see very often, and then, you know, there's like some Giratinas that we would pick up, Ends, and then Iris as well. And then probably the biggest one out of the bunch, 2 copies of Red's Pikachu. These things keep going up so much, and I'm very surprised to see just how much these have gone up over the last few years, but I've got like 2 of those now. So that's basically the whole amount of like the inventory that I got in. It is like just a lot of stuff all together, and that is all due in part to Cyberknight8610, aka Caleb. Well, I know him as Caleb, but most people usually refer to him as Cyberknight8610. That was a deal that took place over the span of like, I'm gonna say like maybe the middle of March, because we were kind of determining like the estimate to go with for pretty much what to offer him. But it took like a full month, and after Collector Palooza, we were able to give him like almost the full payment. I've got to pay him like $500 left, so I think that's what's gonna end up being for this weekend, is just to pay off the rest of that debt. And then he's got more stuff that we're gonna get from him later, so this is gonna kind of offset it for that. But right now, I'm just doing a little bit of organizing. VIPs go in at 8 o'clock. That's the earliest I've done a show in a while, so other than that, show time starts at 9, and I really don't know what to expect with the day, because this is the first time over in the Noblesville, Indiana area, so I'm pretty excited about that. But with that being said, Miller Kart Fest, pretty much the only day that we're doing this today, and yeah, I'll hit the record when anything interesting happens. Selling off the Meowth movie promo from Japan. This was at the show last weekend, and I got that from somebody for a trade, and it's going away for $37. So this is interesting because I haven't ever picked up any autograph stuff for the booth, but it's card related, and this company is called Mass Authentication, and I had to verify to make sure that these are legit, and they are. Price on this was kind of hard to determine, but we basically bought on Google, it was like $50 or $60 for the autos, so we just gave them $50 for the card. So yep, filler for this now. After that the autograph card. This came in from a family. They were mostly looking for cash. They had sold off a lot already, and there wasn't a whole lot that was in the binder. I could have bought the whole thing for cheap, but it would just not feel right for me to do so. The most valuable was obviously the Mew EX, and yeah, we basically gave them 59 altogether for these, and they're all really good binder copies except the Mu EX. That one's near mint. All right, it's finally going to a new home. This one did drop down to around the 23, 24 range, but we gave them a deal for 22, so happy to see the Chien-Pao EX get a new home. So this gentleman right here has got one of the Reds Pikachus, and I still have one left over. So they were looking for that one specifically, and they were right in front of the case earlier, but they didn't see it until now.
Hey, I went everywhere looking for this card. This guy's the first one that had it. I highly recommend coming check out his booth if you see him here. So yeah.
We went through this kind of back and forth on it, and I had to be firm because these are very hard for me to even get a hold of. So for $70 cash on top, there is a bunch of like illustrations, pretty much the full set. Somebody was looking for these earlier, but now we got more, some promos, and just a lot of stuff from the recent set, Perfect Order. So happy with the transaction?
Absolutely, man.
All right, so yeah, he, like I said, owed 70 on top. Selling off the Ho-Oh EX, and this one we just got in from that big binder lot as well, and is going away for 40. All right, did a quick trade with one of the vendors, give them a good deal on the Garchomp EX, so now I got a second one, and they're picking up the first Ed Dark Zard, non-hollow, and then the Pikachu V, the last one that I have, and it's $50 on top. And not long after that last one, selling out both of the ETBs, the last of the Pokemon Center ETB ones, and then the Surging Sparks I got last weekend from Collector Palooza, all together for $410. This was in the span of like about 30 minutes. The top part, these were from my neighbors that were over in this general direction that were at Pokepalooza. They remembered me, so shout out to them. This was around 200 cash value because I wanted to get more higher dollar stuff for the case, and then the Rayquaza. I was surprised how much this one was up, but they didn't have a price on it, but they estimated about 22 on it. So this was 200 cash. That is sealed. I have that raw. They were selling that just like $5 more than the raw one that I was selling. So that to me was definitely a good deal. And then simplified Chinese stuff, hard for me to even hold on to. This I was excited to be able to see because I don't see the EVs or evolutions very often. But they traded this for the simplified Chinese 151 Chansey that I had. It was like about $20. And then there was like a $3 IR. I forget the exact one. It was the cactus. You'll probably know which one I'm talking about. But they couldn't find anything else, and we gave them $20 cash on top. So this, to me, was really worth it. So, yeah, this was definitely a good little pickup for the last 30 minutes. So that was a lie. I really thought I was done buying, but one of my neighbors across the booth had Gundam stuff, and I was able to snag up all three for $261. They wouldn't go down to $250 for all three, even though I was buying them all, but it was his buddy of his that was trying to get rid of them all. But I got something fun to do later tonight. Well, silly me, this is about 3 days ago that I forgot to record the outro. It took me a little bit to get around to it, but overall, it's probably a one and done. I think that they just didn't advertise the show enough for people to come out, but I mean, I still at least enjoyed my time there. The venue, number one, was huge. I was like very overwhelmed by how the sheer magnitude of it. Parking for vendors was also pretty convenient, but I think that it was like the last 2 hours was really the big pickup for me, and honestly, I don't know if I will be back for the show, but I was still happy to go for it, and it's way better than Zinnia, I will say that much. But that is it for the video, guys. Thank you very much for joining me on this. I'm actually in my working attire for Regal Cinema and just kind of doing some recording in this room here, so yeah. Thank you very much for watching. May is going to be very busy for me, about around 6 shows altogether, with this coming weekend is going to be for both Pokepop Shop and also for the Grove City Card Fest. Probably we'll see about doing 2 different videos for that for the week, so yeah, we'll have to kind of just see how things go from there. But love you guys very, very much. Have a good one, and thank you to everybody who dropped by and said hi if you were at that show, or I will be able to see you this weekend. But that's it. I'm gonna head on out and get back to work, but thank you for watching, and as always, you know how I end these videos usually. Stay strong, stay positive, and most importantly, with Cat in the Hat kind of watching back there. Love ya. Have a good one.